Welcome to another episode of Needs to Be Studied podcast. It's your boy B the Bad Guy. And today I'm here with maybe the most returning guest, and I love it. I'm not mad at it. My delusional bestie. She's your sexologist bestie. She's the author. Okay?
Yeah, come through.
Come on.
Talk, make me
She's
feel good.
not only is she an educator, podcaster, bedroom candy.
Huh?
What else? What else is on the resume?
So, it's a long resume. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a serial entrepreneur. I'm a serial entrepreneur in so many ways. I'm, board certified clinical sexologist is like my profession that most people know me for. But you know what's so funny? My man calls me a blue belt, right?
Wow.
Because that's the belt right before black. Like there's a lot of things I'm a black belt in, but there's a lot of things I'm a blue belt in. I might not be at the black belt stage. I'm at the stage right before it, but I just know random things.
Mm-hmm.
So I find that when it starts getting into all the things that I do, it's more a question of like, for me sometimes, what can't you do?
So what can't you do?
I don't bullshit.
That part. Can you cook?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh, can I cook would be an understatement. See, that's a black belt one.
Ooh, okay.
That's a black belt one.
All right.
I could cook, and not just one type of food.
Not just salmon and Alfredo.
No.
So what's your go-to dish if you're in a trapper, man?
I don't have to there's no go-to dish that I'm going to go with because I'm going to find something they already love and I'm going to make it really well. But what I do is I study when I'm cooking for people, especially if it's somebody I'm cooking regularly for, right? Like my person, I'm studying the things that they like, textures. If they tend to like, some people like their wings wet, some people like them dry. You have to pay attention to those little nuances. And then everything that falls in the category of what he be drawn to, I'm going to master.
I'm not going to hold you. You pay attention to a lot of what a person needs. And I don't have time or enough room or space on my plate to pay that much attention to if you like your wings wet or dry. I'm going to ask you, do you like the drums or the flats? But those are
that's a big
keys
thing. Yeah.
To know
because
like
food eating like is a sensory thing. So it's not just how the food looks. That's one look. How does it smell? Right? What does it feel like when you eating it? Is it messy? Like when you eating crabs and you dipping in that butter and you taking all that, juice in, that's a messy meal. But, if you're trying to be dainty with it, you don't want messy. So texture matters, right? And then you get into the part where it's like taste and whatnot. And even sound, because if like you bite into a crunchy piece of something that like that's for some people, that's a part of the experience. Yeah. So I want to when I cook, I want to hit all of those things like throughout the plate. I want every part of you to feel like, oh, something just made me feel, we put the seduction in the food.
I'm a saucy person. I like my food to be very saucy. I like
it wet.
I like it. You see, that's how
you gotta be licking your fingers.
I gotta be licking my fingers. If it's bread, I gotta dip
it in something. Mm-hmm. See, and somebody who's dating you needs to know that.
And and you do. And then I never realized how important it was. I'm trying to focus on being there emotionally, but now I gotta know how you like your food. But something I used to do, like when I was dating guys, or not even guys, but my last relationship, like the corner store, you get your heroes. If you're not in New York City, we go to the deli on the corner store, get our heroes. Then we get maple glazed turkey, Munster cheese, mayos, oil, vinegar. Right? But I used to put his sandwich order inside of my phone and under his contact name and notes, because I'm not gonna remember. I can remember my sandwich.
But that's intentional. Like I think when people do that, they it's not a cheat code. That's remembering on purpose. Yeah. Like that's really what it is. And not to sound crazy, but all right, try to reframe perspective. Don't look at it from the lens of that's a lot of work. Look at it as in this is the way I make my person feel seen. That's really what it comes down to.
You be having the word in.
Baby, honey on your tongue. Honey on your tongue. You got to know it. But yeah, it's like one of those things where one of the best ways to make a person feel seen is to see the stuff they don't tell you, right? And it's just you noticing because you cared enough to be paying attention. Most of the time, people end up splitting up. They don't end up working out because they don't feel like the other person even really notices the things about them that are truly individuals to them, and not the stuff that they show to everybody else, the stuff that other people don't see.
Where did you learn how to be so intentional?
I have an autistic child. Right. So, I've always been a really good communicator because I've always been strong at writing, like persuasive writing, being good with words. Gift the gab runs in my family. I won't lie.
Okay.
Because my mother got it, my uncles got it, my grandfather had it. Like they were just always really good with like strong strings of metaphors and words that when they said stuff like, even if you was getting in trouble, the way they would say it, would have you be
Right.
like, damn, I didn't get credit. Like that
Right.
was good, right? Yeah. So, I always had people around me who spoke to me that talked that way. But honestly, it didn't get fine-tuned until I had my son and he got his autism diagnosis because my son is considered nonverbal.
Okay.
So even though he has verbal ability and he can vocalize and he can speak and advocate for things like what he might want to eat, he's not conversational. If I ask my son, "How was your day?" He's going to just say, "How was your day?" back to me. He's going to do something that's called, echolalic behavior. So he's just going to repeat it back.
Okay.
Right. But if I say, "What do you want to eat?" He might say, "Chicken, turkey, mashed potatoes." He will tell me because it's like a specific need or something that, he got to use the bathroom, those type of things. But like if I want to know how he felt on Tuesday, he can't really vocalize that.
Okay.
So if you're raising a child who naturally doesn't use words as a primary source of communication, you have to become proficient in every other language other than word spoken.
Mm.
So I'm used to looking for what the signals are of his pain, his frustration, his aggravation, how he gets when he's excited because he knows we're going to the water park versus how he gets when he's mad because we leaving his favorite cousin house.
Okay.
Because he can't tell me I'm mad. I don't want to leave. So I gotta say he's just upset because he don't want to leave. You
For
know?
me, so and that makes a lot of sense. But for me to do that for a man, I'm big on wanting to be intentional. But it's just like there's so many things. I'm already in my head about things by myself already about
Mhm.
do I look good on this date or is the vibe right? Just in my head where I can't even pay attention to those little details. So it's
So
like,
maybe what it sounds like from what you're saying to me is so being seen is one half of it. Okay, cool. But also the flip side of it, you just said I've already got so much in my head. I've already got so much that I'm trying to focus on to now try to generate the energy or whatever to put this effort in over here. That usually is a feeling that only surfaces when both people are not duplicating or matching energy or
mm,
effort. You don't even always gotta get it right. Just knowing somebody truly tried is sometimes enough for you to feel like seen,
right.
right? But to offside the side of feeling seen, you wanna feel, the best way that I could put it in yours, that the person who you have complements those things that typically make you feel heavy,
Mm,
right? So, it can be simple, and I wrote about this in the book, right? Because I didn't just write a book to teach people how to be good with their words
right.
and women how to be softer and be this and that. I also wrote chapters in here specifically about who to not give that shit to.
Mm, that part.
Around who to not give it to because the covert narcissist is up in there. The emotional narcissist is up in there. The ones because they don't always show up. And so I don't want you to be wasting this type of effort on somebody who hasn't shown that they're deserving of it. But I want you to know what it looks like when they are and I want you to know what it looks like when they're not. And I mean at a stage where they're not fully arrived even, right?
Mm,
There are indicators that will let me know that or better yet, I call it the honey test, which is also a chapter, right? Of when I use my honey, how do you respond to it? How do you reciprocate? So the example I gave was this. I always am moving, working on the go. I work from home, but when I'm on the go, I'm on the go.
right.
When I'm at home, at home. But still, I got all these devices that I need to talk to each other. I need to be able to airdrop this to the computer, to this. So, and I don't like working at my desk. I have a desk, but I prefer to sit in my tub. I prefer to sit so I'm constantly having to move my devices.
Hmm.
Charging them is not a thing my brain and my ADHD likes to do. I'll see it dying,
Right.
and it's not until it's 1% and I'm about to chase the clock to try to get it plugged in before it die.
That's on me.
That's me. My person showed me that they were one of the ways they showed me was because he didn't say, "You don't never charge your phone. You always gotta let your phone dead. You just gonna do" he didn't do that. He just started plugging it in.
Okay.
He started getting me power packs that were magnetic that can move with me. So these little areas of blanks that I didn't really know. I knew it was a problem, but I didn't know how much it was affecting my life. It would literally mess up my day.
Mm,
And I still, with all the things I'm juggling, mess up. So to go to sleep and then realize that, oh shit, I forgot to plug my phone in. But then when I go to check it, it's on 100. What did that do? Relieves me. It
And probably got you wet too. I ain't gonna
all of
hold
it.
you.
All
I
of
ain't gonna hold
it.
you. Now I gotta give you
All
the
of
guac.
it.
One thing.
All of it.
Thank
All
you
of
for
it.
charging my phone.
Thank
Okay. That's what you need to do.
Thank you for charging it,
My
baby.
phone.
Yes, you made me feel charged. It's for if they're not offsetting areas in your life that you typically struggle with, right? You're supposed to complement each other,
Yeah.
right? Then now you taking the stress of me having a panic out of that now gave me back energy that I can now use to pour back into you one way. So if I got up that morning, I didn't really feel like it, and I was groggy, but then I noticed like, oh, you took care of me. I might say, let me go make him a breakfast sandwich before I leave.
You know what
You know what I mean?
a breakfast sandwich.
You know, feed you, you know?
Yo, you know what a customer told me yesterday at work? Oh my God. She told me this. That's it.
No,
We got
no.
ADHD over
Give me
here.
that. Yeah, what happened?
We was on the line, right? And I was like, how you doing? She was like, good. She was like, you know how to read lips? And I'm like, yeah. So I'm thinking she's gonna say, here's a tip, or like you're doing a great job, right? Or you maybe your employee's bad. She said, read these lips. Put
Period.
her leg up and like try to show me her pussy. Not really show me, but you know,
But like insinuate that
This
I'm
is
talking
for-
about the other lips.
If you're not on YouTube, for the audio listeners, she told me talk to her lips. So I'm like, oh my God. So now I'm like, oh, okay. And she was like, the lips are saying, come in. I'm like, miss, what the hell? And mind you, she's like 52 years old.
Oh, you know, I learned that the older they get, the more they be like, baby, I ain't got no time to waste. I'm getting straight to the point.
But she's not even the first customer. There's a customer that come in my store. And then the first time I handed her bowl, she says, thank you, daddy. And I'm like, okay, like I brushed it off. So she come back again and she comes and she says, thank you, daddy. My boss is there. My boss is like, what did she say? I was like, thank you, daddy. My boss is like, what the hell are you doing to these women? I was like, nothing. I'm gay. Remember?
But you don't present that way.
Somebody just told me, when you see me, I scream gay. They told me that yesterday.
Somebody said that to you.
Yes.
But what I'm saying is like to the average person, I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so.
Yo, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I called Wolf the other day, and what did I say to you, Wolf? I was like, yo, my nigga, where's the bitch? I said something. He was like, and this is your straight voice? Yeah, nigga, where's my bitches at? So now I asked her again. She comes in, the same customer that said daddy. I asked her, oh, how you feeling today? You know, I have great hospitality at work. She was like, I'm wet for you. And I'm just like, yo, like
Auntie was just on one.
yo.
Auntie, just let us know what she was on.
At this point, it becomes harassment. So like now when I see her, I just go downstairs. I don't want to be bothered because
she does it excessively.
Too much.
See, the thing is, and that's where we cross the lines between seduction and overdoing it. Because it could be playful and fun at first, but when you do it too much, it's like, all right, now you're dragging it.
But now because we're going back
and you're not into it
at all.
Don't worry, because we both had our ADHD.
Yes.
But I'm gonna tell you something. The way the way my brain is on point today,
yeah.
I'm gonna help you out because you know why? Because you're my what bestie?
Delusional bestie.
My delusional bestie.
Shout out to my boy Chris who's in the audience right now.
Hey, daddy.
But if you remember, Chris was in the last episode. But so now we was talking about doing stuff for each other. So we have a date night tonight, right?
Okay.
So he was like, what do you want to do? An activity? So he started listing stuff and he was like, well, I'll plan something for us to do. And instead of me saying, okay, you got it, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'd be like, no, I'll plan it. It's good. You don't have to worry about it. But once he was like, no, you already do a lot. Let me do it.
You fought back?
I didn't. I didn't fall back. I continued to do it. I was like, no, I got it. I'm going to plan it.
You speaking about conditioning. So what I like about this person, from everything I've been hearing about,
my man.
Day one, hey, bro, I know you watching. I know you checking in. See what
Then I'll be watching. I'll be telling too much of our business.
And let me get in your business for 2 seconds, friend, because if that's my delusional bestie, you got to know we and you got to be here.
Hello.
What I love about this person is the patience that they offer you, right? And you said something to me before we started taping about like what they call you sometimes, right?
Okay, yes.
And it's so funny you brought that up, and I'm gonna tell you how crazy alignment could be sometimes, right? Because a weekend ago, we went to we had a kink conference out in Baltimore.
Yes.
And one of my, sisters in submission, I like to call, right? One of my sisters in submission, she had said to him, to Chris, I'm picking up all this middle energy. And so he didn't know what the term is because he's still getting a little bit more acquainted with some of the more like kink BDSM terms. But anyway,
So what
She's
is
a
middle
middle
energy?
energy. So you know how they say little, that goes all the way to the little boy in you.
Okay.
But nobody talks about the teenage boy.
Mm,
Middle is the teenage boy. That not adult, but not a baby, not a mommy, I need you to
right.
make me chicken nuggets and but more so I want to play my game. I want to go to this party. Oh my God, it's a fat ass. Oh my God, he's so fine. Like that
Right.
energy, because the hormones are already in full swing by that
Mm,
point. And you're now navigating that excitement. So he brings out a little bit of both of them for you, right? So when he calls you big boy, when I say I call him big boy, that's my way of acknowledging that side of him that just gets like really excited when he's like,
right.
I got the girl with the fat ass. Like,
Ooh.
that's teenage boy energy. And honestly, what energy you end up showing more of is typically associated with the part of your life that had maybe the most significant challenges, changes, or traumas. Right.
Mm,
So it doesn't even have to be the deepest stuff. Let's just say you was teenager and you had to move around a lot. So you didn't get to have the social teenage life that you might have wanted to because every time you bonded with people, you were moving. That
okay.
doesn't strike as a trauma, but it deprives you of a period of time that's very short because you only get between 13 and technically 18 before legally they no longer consider you to be this teenage boy. So
Right.
5 years, if you moved 3 times in that 5 years, every time you started to get comfortable, it
Mm,
changed. So there's a part of you that feels like I didn't really get to live that part of my life.
right.
You know, now for some boys it's little boy. If you experience any type of traumas when you were young, right? That little boy who was confused or whatever the case is, he doesn't really disappear. There's a part of him that his innocence was taken.
Mhm.
So what happens when you meet that person who just brings it out of you? Like that little innocence comes back, like the little boy, like
Yeah.
innocence. So I feel like he
'Cause when he be like, "Good morning, baby boy," I'd be like, "Good
Yes,
mor," and I
yes.
call him Papo.
Yes, and see, it's not in a sick way. It's more so in a place that like this is your person. You're supposed to be able to be every version of yourself in front of this
Right.
person. Because most of the time you can't be the little boy in regular everyday life going to work, dealing, you know what I'm saying? So when you with your person, you're supposed to be able to, I talk about the little girl all the time.
Yeah.
I'm a princess. I don't
But
care
then
what
that's for
nobody's
him to call me baby boy and I'm 7 years older. But it still make me be like,
so baby boy is more of the
"Baby boy
right?
on my
Middle
mind."
boy, like the next one, big boy, or whatever
Okay.
the case is you got a little bit of that spiciness, but you still got the there's not a certain confidence yet. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? So, teenage boys just be winging it, doing dumb shit, like
Right.
whatever the
For
case
sure.
is. And so you have to ask yourself what shows up. But what I was saying to him is that he seems to leave room for that person to have an identity.
Mm,
That part of your identity doesn't have to go hide, but you're still conditioned to a whole bunch of motherfuckers who never made that version of you feel safe and the adult version of you feel safe. So you still conditioned to feel like I'm going to take care of it because it's not going to look like what I want it to look like unless I have a hand in it. And
right.
he's saying, I'm paying attention. I'm letting all of you be free. I got it. Like,
'Cause I also
and
don't
you just
want,
gotta look at him and say, okay, Papa.
you know what? And I should've. I should've just said, 'cause later I'm gonna complain, I planned everything. He said, "Let me plan it." Not once, but twice. I'm like, "No, I got it."
You got to realize when you're rejecting yourself. Some people fear rejection, but they don't realize the biggest person that they reject is their own self. What you really want is the thing you're fighting.
And it's so crazy because when I used to go on trips with niggas, I used to plan the whole itinerary and everything, and they used to rely on me. So now for this trip, he's sending me everything like, "All right, what about this? What about this?" And I'm just like, "Wow, that's different."
He's
So, but
playing.
in my head, I'm like, "All right, I still gotta plan the itinerary." So yes, I am conditioned. How do I get unconditioned?
Do you want relief?
Yes.
So that's how discipline is often used, especially in kinky shit, in a certain way, like getting in trouble or whatever. My definition of discipline is simply remembering what the fuck you said you wanted,
Mm,
right? And then basically reminding yourself of it anytime you have a weak moment of doing something that's habitual. So if you feel that urge to go back to your regular notion of like, I just got to plan something, you have to have the discipline of saying, I want a man who will take the lead. I want a man who will plan for me. And check yourself
mm,
before you bring that energy over there. Because what you can do is after a while, you can fuck up his will to want to do it because it's going to start to feel like every time I try to take this lead, you resist and you fight back. So it's confusing. What do you want? Do you want somebody who's going to initiate and also plan the trips? Or do you want to stay stuck being that motherfucker who constantly feels like you're putting out and putting out? And maybe you had a good time on the trip, but it's because you had to do everything. Your brain never got to stop and you never just got to enjoy. And then when you ask yourself that question, you'd be like, let me shut the fuck up.
And I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Actually, this is the last thing that I'm playing. The next one he gonna play.
Right.
And that's it.
That's it. That's it.
Because once I hung up the phone, I was like, this nigga just said.
It happened to me downstairs, even coming upstairs, right? Like he has this way of feeling like when I say, oh, babe, don't forget this. And he'd be like, and he'll look at me, he'll be like, I got it. Right? Reassurance is necessary because he knows my tendency. I have OCD.
Right.
And it's aggressive. And my OCD tells me it has to be this way, this way, this way sometimes. And sometimes I have to be able to accept that one of the greatest parts about my person is that they're strong in areas that I may not be.
Mm.
And I have to know who's the better person to lead.
Well, we're going to lead into the next segment.
Lead me there.
Which is our chemistry.
I like how you're seducing me. I saw your posture change. You licked your lips. Yeah.
And this is what we're going to talk about.
And nothing I love more than making a gay man blush.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
So look, we're going to talk about the next segment because I could do this with you, but I have issues or problems being seductive or sexy on my own, especially with a person I like. Now, when I'm drunk, you got me. I'm talking that freak nasty, right? But when I'm sober and I want to be intimate, I struggle. I'm not used to like so much physical touch from my family. So with this person, he's touchy-feely. I still have fight myself like, do I put my arm around? I don't want to be like,
oh, you question it.
I question a lot, right? So what are some ways?
Quick question for you though, before I can answer.
Okay.
When you think about the word seduction, it doesn't have to be perfect. How do you define it? What do you think it's supposed to look like?
You know, like sensual.
Okay, sensual. That's a good word. Sensual. I'm so happy. Oh, talk to me nice.
I don't even know where that word came from just now.
Just because you're feeling sensual
don't
right
ask
now.
me to spell it either.
Because you're feeling sensual. You know what tells me that? Look, this posture.
Okay.
Sensual. Look.
Bilingual.
Look. Give me your shoulder. See? Sensual. Oh,
I'm feeling sexy.
Ew. you're in that space and he's not present because as we're talking, you're realizing more and more why this person is valuable to you.
Okay.
Because anybody who makes you want to look at yourself and ask yourself, how do I make this part of me better? That's a green flag. He already provokes the side of you that wants to, I want to find how to capture this without the tequila. Why? Right? So start there.
You know what was a green flag? The fact that I was like, when I first met him, and I was like, I don't know how to cook. We met 2 years ago, but now it's like being not serious, but we're like seeing each other more. And he was like, nah, you gotta learn how to cook. And I'm like, cook? And I'm on the TikToker learning how to cook.
And
I'm making videos.
Like we figure out how to make a
cook. You feel me? You like your wings dry?
Get ready for me while I cook for my man.
You know?
So yeah, okay. I will say this, right? Let me start in two places. Your version of sexy and seductive is actually rooted in goofy.
Okay, yes.
Start there. So, because most people have this perception that, seduction or sexy has to look one way. It has to look like, I want you to stand over there and take off your clothes. Do you want to touch me? And all that kind of stuff. That's the obvious. That's like obvious. And there's an element of role play in that because you're playing a seductress.
Okay.
But when you're coming from seduction from a space of like, you're authentically goofy, right? I'm the person that goes, did you miss me? Like, did you miss me? And he will say something like, yeah, baby, I miss someone talking to you. Miss me. My playfulness is a huge part of my seduction. And it allows me to step into like different personas of role play, right? So I could play with him and I could stand up over him and I would be like, what's up? What you want to do? But whatever. But I'm still like, being real playful with it. So you're that. And naturally, what happens when you take tequila is what? It impacts your sensory system. So because they impair you, technically drinking impairs a certain level of alertness. You're not operating in the conscious mind as much. You're like in the middle of your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, right? Because it's like letting your wildest inhibitions run free, right? They always talk about it. We say this shit all the time. A sober, a person speaking a sober heart when they're drunk, because now it's like I feel free
Right.
because there's a part of you that's not weighted down by the nervous system being fried. It slows you. So now I could do this thing easily because that part of my alertness that's telling me like, should I do it the shoulder this way or should I put my arm there or whatever is now subdued by alcohol.
Mm.
So the best way to tap into that outside of it is to really start with building your seduction through the senses, right? You have to look at how each one plays a role. You said a couple things and I listened very intentionally. Not a lot of touch in my family. You're getting used to touch. Right? Touch is a huge sensory thing. The skin is the largest organ in your body and holds a lot of your receptors. So touch is one of them. But like we not even sitting next to each other and I could like sight, right?
Oh,
So
stop it.
so if you sit in there and it's a whole room full of people and I'm like, right, doing stupid stuff like that, I'm like, I'd be like, I be doing shit like this to him all the time.
Uh-huh.
Want me to open my like, and he'll be like, yo, stop playing so stupid. I'm like, as in, like, we in a room full of people, but let's not get caught. Even though I don't
Right.
give a shit about getting caught, but it's playing the role of let's not get caught. You want to
Right,
let me
right.
flash you real quick, right? Like people don't flash their person. You don't think they still get the element of surprise if you catch them out of nowhere? Like, hey, boo! Like,
Right, right, you know,
it's fun. It's playful. It's supposed to feel good. It's supposed to be fun. And then when it feels fun, they play into it more naturally. Like in a, it takes the what's the word? The weight off. Like that anxiety of like, am I doing it right? Instead, do it wrong and own it. It's like I'll walk over to him. I'll be like, I couldn't tell if you want me to put my hand right here, over here. Instead of asking myself, should I put my hand around him? I'll go over and be like, I didn't know if you wanted me to put my hand on your shoulder, if you rather me put it on your leg. Right? I'm gonna get the
okay.
answer. And I'm gonna let him say, you could put it on my shoulder. And I'm gonna say, like right here. You want me to put it right there? Big boy. Like, you know what I'm saying?
You a nasty
I'm a
freaky kind of
you better.
well,
So, but you don't run from the anxiety, run
okay.
into it, right?
Mm.
It's like crashing. The nervous system, the way the nervous system works is once you do that and you ease that sensory and it's no longer in a should I, and you got ADHD. We can't play in that pond
Right.
too long, right? Because you'll literally back and forth your thoughts so much that you don't do shit. And then next thing you know what happens? A moment feels lost. Like, cause sometimes after the vibe passes, it's hard to get it back to like that point. You know what I mean? So I feel like for you, start there, start with owning your goofy. And then I would say just don't look at seduction from seducing them. Ask yourself, which sense do you want to seduce first? And then build from there.
So do you think people that grew up with no um intimacy, do you think people that grew up with no affection struggle with intimacy more?
Absolutely, because what people don't realize is we often start with the body first, like physical attraction. But I've broken down intimacy into 4 pillars, right? It's physical, it's emotional, it's spiritual, and then mental.
Right.
Your person has to have the ability to slow your mind, ease your heart, feel and aligned with you. So your body is like, I just want to give you everything, right?
Mm.
A lot of times we start with the body and hoping that they can touch you the right way to make you feel safe, or that they can hold you a certain way to make you feel, that protection or that emotional vulnerability and da da da. And you don't realize is even if that person's holding you, there's a part of you that's still like nervous. Even you're going into the hug, but you're like still tense, as opposed to that hug being the thing that goes, finally, like a relief. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because you know that once you put it in that person's arms, it's like your body should relax, right? But you could play with the excitement. Don't get me fucked up. You could play with that excitement, right? I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
tease and I'm gonna provoke the fact that he got a teenage boy in him.
Mm.
And you got this fat ass and these big ass titties and these hips and these thighs. Grab it, daddy. I'm gonna be like, come here.
Do you
See
ever
how that
kitty
sound?
fuck him?
Absolutely. Yeah. And you know what's so funny? I don't think that he knew the different ways that he liked his dick interacted with, right? And so I'm like, let me just do this thing or whatever the case is. And I realized for him, it's like, I just want you touching it. I don't know if whether it's your vagina, whether it's your hands, whether it's this part of you. I could take my cheek and stroke that going and shit like this. And he's just like, you know what? And I'm gonna look up to him and he's gonna be sitting there going,
Smiling.
like a teenage boy. But when I want daddy, right? Because don't get me wrong, he switches, he can step out of that little boy.
Mhm.
Same thing for you, right? You have a piranha in you too. So sometimes you play coy, but other times you like, what's up? I want to eat that dick. Like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Feed me.
Hello?
You feel what I'm saying? So ask yourself what mood you're in, what energy you're in, and what do you want them to feel, and then start from building each of those feelings up. I give you an example. Try this.
Okay.
Try this. Put him in a corner of the room. Like, so you had a corner over there, stand away.
Okay.
Don't be close. And remove the ability to see you.
Okay.
But he can hear you. And you can gauge how far something is from you, from their sound, how close their voice sounds to you. Someone from far away, ask him stuff like, can you feel me? Right? And then start telling him what you want to do to him. Right? Like I'll say I would literally, I want your dick in me so bad from across the room, right? But then I'll take a step closer. So I know he's gonna feel me coming closer because my voice is getting closer and he heard a step, but he still don't know exactly where I'm at.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? You want me to touch you? I'll ask I'll play with that.
I'll be laughing
You
as
know,
I'm saying
and,
this.
and I want you to laugh, giggle, get it all out. Cause by the time I put my hands on you, shit is gonna get real. So it's time to get your jokes off. I'm not joking. I wanna fuck you. I wanna suck you.
Mm.
I want you down my throat. I wanna forget that oxygen is relevant. For 2 seconds, I wanna
A
forget.
word. Look at Crave.
I just and so, but mind you, I'm coming closer to you. Little by little. You feel me yet? I'm not touching him, but can you feel me? Right? Now what else I got? My little perfume that I put on.
Right.
As I get closer, my scent is gonna get closer. So now you smell me? What does it smell like, Daddy? You like what I smell like? You wanna smell me closer?
Mm.
So he's getting nervous. A part of his nerves are going, she's getting closer to me and she's coming with an energy that I don't know what the fuck she about to do. And he might be giggling, but at some point he gonna realize shit is getting real. Right? And I might grab his dick. And I said, you can't see me, but I know you could tell I'm not playing.
Mm.
Right? And so I'm gonna provoke him and I'm gonna play with that nervous energy that I know that he got, that little boy. And then I'm gonna poke the fucking bear because I really want daddy. I want daddy tonight. I don't want the teenage boy. I want daddy.
Mm.
So what you gonna do with this?
So since we talking about pet names, right?
What you got?
If you get the panties, you know I call him daddy. Like daddy, 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 daddy.
You know what's so crazy? We could have like a whole karaoke night,
Yes,
and
we
I know that
can.
you and me would be.
We can, and we
me too.
will.
Yes, and we
And
should.
we
Yeah.
will.
What's your pet name? Tell me.
All right, so he called me baby boy, right? And I call him Papa. I had one person. There's some pet names that could turn you off,
Okay.
and I had a guy call me Stinker, and I'm just like, nigga, Stinker,
Stinker is what?
like me, Stinker. You call?
That's what you hear is the nicknames they call a little 4-year-old badass boy, like little stink or stinker be.
Yeah, like he was like, I miss you, Stinker, and I'm just like turned off, disgusted, like don't even want to engage with you. Like that was not a cute pet name. Like I had somebody call me my guy.
Okay.
Like
Okay, so you prefer a pet name that is more directly sexy as opposed to like those playful little
Stinker?
like.
Stinker. I had somebody call me Butterfinger, but I was young.
There's people who call their partner like, pass me that book, stink. They say stuff like that, and to them, because when there's a lot of couples that a huge part of their intimacy is joking on each other.
Yes.
So they don't give each other pet names that are associated with sexy. That's how he is. That was his like stinker. Sexy.
No, don't call me that. But my thing is,
do you think you've picked up that it turns you off?
Probably not, because I hopefully, I don't know. I never responded back to that. Stinker was a huge turnoff. Like,
okay,
at the end of the day, yes, I'm gay, but I don't give stinker vibes. Like you talking about baby boy, like yeah, I'm big on submission. So, you acknowledging I'm still a man. I'm your baby boy. You feel me?
Right.
And like
you don't feel like it puts you in a whole nother situation where it's like stinker. The word stink is not rooted in something sexy. It's rooted in something that you.
But then also, I'm not a fan of guys calling me daddy either. Maybe because I'm big on submission.
Yeah, you're not.
Right? You're
not always daddy energy. So there's a difference between dominant and top, is what we call it in kink lifestyle, right? I know that these are not terms that like everyday people use, but I'm sharing them because they may not realize that these things show up in their everyday because
Right.
they not in life. But we give those things an identity so that
Mhm.
people have a place to feel like there's room for that side of them. You're not you're not daddy energy, but you are top energy. Meaning you because you're the planner, you do all the trips, you're capable of taking the lead, even though that's not what you desire. But because you spend so much time doing it, you crave the submissive side of you more.
Right.
Right, so you wanna live in that, but it doesn't mean that you can't toggle and step into the take charge role and, like, handle the arrangements and plan a date and take him
Right.
out too, right? And a lot of couples have that dynamic where it's like most women don't have an issue if they're in a hetero relationship taking their man on a date too,
Right.
but the expectation is that the majority of the time, he's the one who pays for the dates.
Yeah.
So, like, everyone once in a blue, she says, "I wanna take my man out." So most people don't have a problem stepping into the other for a little while. Don't mean you want to live there. You don't want to live there.
No, I
But
don't
it
wanna live
doesn't
there.
mean you're not capable of still pushing him down and taking charge and saying, I really appreciate this trip you planned for
Yeah,
me.
I don't think
And
you call me daddy.
no, don't
Don't
let
call
him
me
call
stinker
you.
either.
Don't let him call you
But then
daddy.
my problem is the last 3 niggas I called daddy, and I'm scared to call this one daddy because it's like, who's my father? Who's my father? I done called every
Well, you
nigga
call
daddy.
him Papa though. Papa is your different. It's the way you acknowledge the same role, but you gave it a different name because you don't see him in the
Ooh,
same way that you saw them. Daddy is, not the thing, but you Papa,
and he's Spanish
and I
too.
love it when you Big Papa, not even Big Papa, not the little one.
Call me
Big
Big
Papa.
Papa. Put
Put
your
your hands
hands in
in.
the air. You a true player. Cause one of these niggas tonight could be having my baby.
Bitch, my baby.
Okay.
He got that. Daddy is a word. So I'm so happy you said that because it's a trigger for you. I don't know if
Yeah.
you realize it's a trigger. You've given the title daddy to people who you thought were daddy deserving, and they just came to show and prove that they weren't worth,
Yeah,
you know what I'm
nothing. It
saying?
wasn't worth daddy.
So you said this person is different from them, and it feels almost disrespectful to even call you something that I called them. You're like at another level. You're Big Papa.
I learned that I used to fetishize, and I didn't know it until yesterday, that I fetishize hood niggas. And me fetishizing them was also putting me in a place where I wasn't going to get the love of my life or the love life that I actually wanted.
Mhm.
So I'm not dating a hood nigga. Now he could get Brooklyn if he has to, because I heard the tone switch up.
Mhm.
But I was the last couple of guys I tried to take serious was hood niggas. And it was another ex who wasn't so much of a hood nigga, where it was actually a great relationship to where we actually never argued. Never argued.
Can I offer you this?
Mhm.
Okay. Don't beat yourself up so bad, first of all. This is where you really got to give yourself grace. You knew what you wanted, but you didn't know how to find it in a nigga that wasn't hood,
Yeah.
right? So don't look at, oh, I'm attracted to a hood nigga. What are the characteristics about a hood nigga that used to pull you in?
Security.
They always seem that they
Yeah.
protect, they roar, I ain't gotta worry, I'm safe, I'm missing. Okay, so protection, security, it's a very normal thing to crave in a relationship. So what outside of that, what else did they used to stimulate for you?
I was able to be submissive and not
Because they naturally are masculine, but sometimes toxic masculine.
toxic masculine.
So you were responding to their dominant presenting, characteristics of I don't let no, certain things,
Right.
whatever the case is. But then you realize that that sometimes comes with toxic behaviors that can border the line of abusive,
Yes.
right? A little too aggressive, or you don't know when to not be that nigga. So now you naturally crave the latter. So if you spent a lot of time dating these dudes who I felt protected from threats that were imminent threats, not protected as in emotionally protected. I liked the fact that he had dominant quality. He commanded the room. He had that kind of energy, but I didn't like the fact that he didn't respect that I was a person with a thought, an opinion, and a feeling.
Mm.
So that's the contrast. So now you go forward in life and you're craving the characteristics that you didn't get, right? And then what happens? 9 times out of 10, you go too far the other way. And you get the guy who has that, but now you're like, this nigga is not gonna be able to choke me, right?
Yeah.
Like, so now here you
I
are.
ain't worried about that.
You're starting to see that those characteristics don't just show up in hood niggas.
Mm.
and they're not always loud. And I'm gonna tell you this: the most dominant types, they don't talk loud. They show up loud. Like you feel when they walk in the room, their posture, their stature, they humble, they whatever the case is. But you also could get that this is really not a nigga to play with energy.
Like a James St. Patrick.
Yes.
I want to manifest that for me.
But you know the thing about James St. Patrick is he still toggles the hood nigga side.
Yes.
He just does it in a suit.
In the suit.
Okay.
In the suit.
But he's still a hood nigga.
Yeah.
He's still Buggum Squeeze.
And
So
Tasha, I lost the love of my life is crazy.
So
by
we
the way.
don't want a James St. Patrick because we see who
yes.
Tasha became.
Yes.
That's not who she started as.
No, she didn't.
But that's who she became.
Yes.
So I feel like, again, you're still looking at presenting as opposed to like, who is this nigga really? The guy you dealing with right now is really that nigga. He's really Papa.
Stop.
Go ahead. Keep thinking about him. Because you're going on a date when?
You know, we don't have ringtones. I'm going to put the ringtones on. I love it when you call me. Stop.
Ow.
All right. No. This is a whole nother segment that I had to skip because of time.
No worries. You know I'm always back whenever
I know.
You
and I told you
and we can also do shorts sometimes too, maybe one day. Like just have like this mini, you know.
Yes.
But what's up?
I'm tired. I know you probably tired of me calling you. I tell you the other day.
I'm never tired of it. I'm very selective and I'm very intentional about who I share myself and my brain with. Like in person. Because obviously this content goes out and many people could consume it. But let me give this to you for you.
Okay.
Because let's take the delusional bestie out of it. And I'm going to just leave it at bestie for a second.
Okay.
Right? I give unconditionally to people who, and without an expectation of return, to people who I could tell are genuinely craving growth. You started a podcast and you named it Needs to Be Studied. And you started that podcast and you named it that because you were looking at these things that you yourself really wanted to teach yourself, but you didn't just go about doing it on your own and you could just explore by yourself. You decided to do it in a way that will help answer questions for a whole bunch of other people who have them. That tells me your heart is where it is, right? So, and then I trusted you one time. You thought that like you was like, I wanted to get her on my podcast. And then the way it came about the first time, guys, for y'all who didn't watch the first episode, who probably should. Yeah, I could be shady too. We're toxic together. But what I mean is, you thought that y'all ain't hear the grunting in the back. I don't know if y'all heard it, but
you know, need some water. There's some water right there, by the way.
I'll throw you the bottle.
Yeah.
Nah, but what I was gonna say to you is, you was thinking like, oh, it worked out so well that somebody you knew happened to know me, and it all came together. So maybe that first time we all met, it was all getting acclimated. But what I need you to understand is, like you said, I pay attention to a lot of shit that a lot of people don't. I'm reading the shit out of you that first day.
Really?
And I'm finding out every bit of who you are and your genuine curiosity. And somebody like me who really enjoys giving back and teaching, you're my ideal student. You're my ideal pupil, right? Like you're the teacher's pet, for example. So there's never going to be a time where I have an issue coming here for you because I know you're not full of shit. I don't go on a lot of podcasts. And it's very on purpose, not because I haven't gotten invitations. It's because I don't trust you. And I've seen what you've done with your platform, and I can't tell what it's really about for you. I'm not knocking nobody getting a check, but you're not going to use my intellectual property to make your name. But you use it, run it up.
Well, thank you.
Because you really are.
Always being there for
me. I'm dead ass serious. And y'all better stop playing with my boy Billy. You know what I'm saying? He's not always a bad guy.
Yes.
He's not always a bad guy.
And she is going to be at the live show.
Oh, y'all know.
You'll know. We got some things up the sleeves, you know? How we do.
I'm so excited. I'm so looking forward to it. We were just having like a call for like 5 minutes to plan a couple things. And I was like, oh, we could do this.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
So y'all better get y'all tickets and pull up to the live show.
It's going to be a good one.
And it's your birthday?
My birthday's the following week.
Yeah.
And like you think it's still my birthday again. I'm like, no.
But it's still your birthday is your birthday month, birthday week. Yeah. We're celebrating your birthday live.
Chante, Bree, and all of them give me another cake. Well, Gilmore got crutches. I don't know how that place got an elevator. He better take it up there. You gotta be at the live show, motherfucker.
You know what I'm saying? I don't know, we can't do certain wild things, but we gotta find a way to get you a different kind of cake.
Yeah. Now I eat some cake off.
I want to see Billy at the live show with a big booty, fat ass in front of him. I know this sounds crazy, but he was talking about in other times that we got together about him still being open to like for the sake of experience.
Somebody
Timing.
told me that yesterday. It was part of somebody because my job took us on a field trip yesterday to upstate New York, and one of the people on the support team, they watched the show and they was like, "I watch your podcast," and they said, "You said that you want to eat something one more time in life." So I'm like, "What the
You
fuck
gotta
is she
know that
talking
there's
about?"
mad women who are curious about like don't act. Gay
And she
men, my
told
gay
me,
men. There are mad women who are mad curious. The same way y'all love fondling our lady parts, because I'm telling you, don't nobody love a big booty bitch like a gay man.
right?
They just be titties, all of that. Like I will literally be walking down the street passing a gay bar, and they'd be five of them in front, and they all gonna turn around and be like,
That's so true.
"Yes, it's giving feminine, it's giving
Yes.
natural." And and you
Right,
know me,
bitch.
and you know what
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a show. I'm like, what?
Yo, it's so true because the lady was like, she was like, "I think
She
I'm fine enough." She was like, "I think I'm fine enough and qualified enough for you to do what you want to do." But it went over my head.
I feel like you
So
should have a twerk contest or something
uh-huh.
where their goal is to impress you. If you could get, if they could get you like
Damn.
you know how they joked about this is funny when Spiritual Warrior posted that clip.
Uh-huh.
You know how they joked about they said what you said factory default settings. They said
Oh yes,
when I said
yes.
to you, I like sucking dick, and you was like, and it was like they made him forget for 2 seconds, who
Sure
he was
did.
attracted to. I feel like whoever can make you forget that you're gay for 2 seconds at the live show, I will personally gift their next toy or orgasm.
Let's
Like
do it.
if we do it at the
Let's
show.
do it.
All right.
Let's do it. So we have our guidance counselor segment to where our supporters send us questions, and I saved these just for you because you could definitely help with them. One person said, "Hey Billy, okay, I never thought I'd be writing into a podcast, but I'm a loyal listener and I need some help. I'm low key spiraling. So here's the deal: I haven't been touched, kissed, or even flirted in a long time. Like I've been in my celebrate era, not by choice though, but because dating has just been trash. Honestly, I've been protecting my peace and body as you should. But recently, this guy came along and he feels different. We've been on a few dates and the tension has been tensioning. We were sitting in front of his car. No, we were sitting in his car after dinner and this happened. We kissed. It should have felt like fireworks, but honestly, I felt like I forgot how to kiss. It felt awkward, like I was just in my head, and now I'm replaying the whole thing, wondering if he was disappointed. I didn't know where to put my hands, if I was using too much tongue or not enough tongue. It just felt stiff. I'm overthinking it. I know it's been years since I kissed someone I actually like. Now I feel like I bombed it. Do you have any kissing tips or techniques?
You need to do a full pleasure map and body map and reset. Because everything that your body might have liked before you had this long hiatus may not be the same now. And it's clear that now that you're kind of re-entering this I cannot emphasize this more. And I say this over and over, and you're gonna feel like I'm a broken record, but I just want you to see that I'm consistent in my message. Confidence doesn't exist without certainty. Confidence doesn't exist without certainty. When you're not sure, you're not confident. If you're not certain, you're not confident.
Okay.
So you have to do what you need to do to get certain in order to feel confident that I'm kissing you well, right? But at this given point, you've not had anybody touching you, you've not been touching anyone else. So at first, you need to by yourself, alone, set the mood for yourself like you was planning as a romantic date for someone else. And it doesn't have to be expensive. It doesn't have to be crazy. You don't even got to buy rose petals. Just put a nice, good instrumental, no words. The instrumental, it could be an R&B instrumental. It could be compa. It could be slow, whatever. Something just sensual.
Mm.
That's the keys, but no words because words are distracting. And we need to get your mind off all of this anxiety, baby. Okay. But secondly, make sure it smells good. Nothing too overwhelming for the senses. Go with eucalyptus. Go with lavender is probably the strongest, I would say, but fresh waters, things that feel clear, not that feel overwhelming. You don't want to overwhelm the sense of smell. Take a bath, moisturize your skin, make sure your shit feels soft. Soft.
I'm getting a
I
body
want you
scrub
to
this week
stop.
for my
Yes.
trip.
Yes.
You gonna
And
touch my body. Ooh,
yeah, you want to have all of that because you want to feel like you prepared yourself for the most like open and aware sort of situation. Even with taste, a little light bit of wine if you drink. If not, that's okay. Get something that tastes good that after you have this experience, you could just sip on. That's going to be the final touch. But the bottom line is I want you to spend some time by yourself. touching yourself, right? Let me turn to y'all because turn to y'all. And I'm giving this to you, boo, because you're gonna know you a good kisser after this, baby. Trust me, right? Because you should see your tongue come out and go, and know that the motion of your tongue look good. Look in the mirror and go, and I know that that's what it feel like in their mouth. I want you to look at your lips. I want you to like get the feeling of what your lips feel like. Kiss your hand. Does it feel soft to you? Because if not, moisturize them shits. Okay, scrub them. Bottom line is, you should be familiar with what a touch feels like on you before you go and do it on somebody else. So when you touch them, you lick them, you feel sure. Like, I know my lips is soft. I know this tongue looking. I know it's, my mouth is whatever. You probably over here just trying to, you're going about it too awkwardly. You don't have no certainty. Get sure. Last but not least, touch yourself, but I could say this. You know how you do sexy dance?
Right.
I could literally just run my hands. I don't even got to move. And I could give seduction. Just like that, right? I'm sure that I'm seducing. And I know I'm seducing you right now. It's confident. I don't have no question. And I'm not, so I need you to do that. And then go kiss that motherfucker. And then while they're touching you, I want you to guide them too. Take their hand and run it up your body. Take their hand and grab. If you want them to grab your cheeks while they kiss you, take their hand and put it on your face. Grab their neck and pull it to you. Kiss them. Stop at some point and look at them. And then go back in with that tongue again. You want to really pull that motherfucker in. I ain't had nothing in my hands in a long time. And you the first one I'm giving it to. And that's what the fuck they need to feel. Do that. And then write us back and let us know how it go.
Oh my God,
okay?
that was great.
And I gave you a little bit more than you might have paid for.
So that, what did the kid say? Clock it.
Clock it. This is time to get him to move the couch today or something, or move something in the house that I needed him to do for a while. He gonna go home and he gonna be like, yeah, baby. And if you could get this upstairs for me tonight, I'm gonna give you all of that same energy. I'm not gonna lie, what you did to
the
me.
couch has moved today.
I'm not gonna lie, because we just me this morning.
You also have a good book.
Oh, yes. And I didn't get to bring you your official signed copy. So when you come to the live show, I will.
Okay.
Because it still hasn't come in. I ordered a bunch of copies, but I do have my author's copy. It's my book.
Yeah.
It's called Honey on Your Tongue. It was actually inspired from, I had all this in my head, but it was his episode. It was his podcast that inspired me to actually put the words on paper. And really, the catchphrase is that it's the softest touch to soften the hardest man. But truth be told, this is only the first volume because I'm going to write it speaking to a guy who might be dating a woman, and I'm going to speak it to a guy who might be with a man. I really wanted to be, each volume to be specific, talking to you, not general. I didn't really want to generalize it. So this first volume is framed in a tone where you might hear me say sis, you might hear me say that. But I spent a lot of time making sure men feel seen in this book.
That's so important.
So this right here, I call it right here, it is a love letter. It's a blueprint, and it's a soft revolution. I want women to feel like they can be this sensual and they can be this seductive, even if they've had the worst experiences.
Yes.
And I'm going to teach you how to know when you should be pouring it on thick and honey sweet, and also when you shouldn't. Right? I don't want you to get gaslight. There's a place out there that pays people to play in people's faces. It's not your life. It's called the circus, Okay? I don't want you doing that.
Yes, honey.
Yeah, but I actually put a lot of personal stuff in here, a lot of personal stories of ours, but also like about my son and my uncles and my granddad, all the people who I would say they created the honey. He refined it.
We love you.
He refined it. Yeah.
Good woman
so,
here, and you got a good man there. We love it.
I promise you this. You will read this book, regardless of what your life story has been, and you will find it relatable. I give you exact examples of how you might be saying something and how you could say it.
Right.
And I give you direct ways to help you you want to communicate in a way that the person on the other end actually gets it in the way you intended it. And that you're not spending all your time, wasting your time and your energy trying to just get the right message across, but you also want to feel understood. So that's what this book will help you do.
What I need from
did I tell you? Can I read something to you?
Yes.
Okay, first of all, I did say in the beginning that this book was born from a viral moment in a podcast. But in my dedication part of the book, I want to go there because I did do it to my Titan. I did it to my son, to my village, but to Billy the bad guy.
Wow.
My delusional bestie. And my viral collaborator, it was our episode on Needs to Be Studied that cracked the algorithm wide open, changed the game, and helped plant the seed for this book's message to spread like wildfire. Your brain and your loyal friendship continue to pour gas on every idea I whisper. I love you.
I love you
And I
too.
wanted to
Thank
make sure I
you.
read my dedication to you here live.
Thank you. Thank you.
Smart.
Make sure you guys get
So
the
Billy the
book.
Bad Guy is copywritten too, y'all. So none of y'all don't try to, just so you know, copywritten now.
Don't play with me. Play with your pussy host. But no, thank you. Make sure you like. Where can they find you?
Oh, you guys can find, honestly, if you search your sexologist bestie, Cash, or just your sexologist bestie, you'll find me, reviews, Google my website. But my website is www.kasha, K-A-S like Sam, H-A, Johnson.com. And you can find a book there. You can find my services, pretty much everything about me. It's a playground. Go play in
Yeah.
it. And the direct links to the episodes that we talked about on my homepage. Just scroll down. They're all there.
Yes. Well, make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and make sure you buy your motherfucking tickets. I knew I was looking at the camera the whole time. Wrong camera. But make sure you like, comment, make sure you subscribe, buy your tickets. It's going to be a great show.
See us. Come on stage. I want to hug you.
My show manager just wrote me a bunch of shit at 3:57 in the morning. And I said, we'll circle back after Vegas, ho, because I'm tired. I have a lot on my plate. Yeah, so make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe, and that's it. Later, y'all.